Imagine waking up one morning and discovering your bank just gambled your savings away. Not stole it, not lost it in a robbery, they bet it. Like a drunk uncle at a casino. Except this uncle controls the US economy. Here's the twist. This almost became reality in the 2000s because of one law passed quietly in 1999. A law so confusing, so boring, so wrapped in legal jargon that nobody paid attention. But that law changed everything. Bold question. How did a single signature unleash the chaos that led to the biggest financial disaster since the Great Depression? Let's rewind. For most of the 20th century, America had a simple rule. Banks should act like banks, and casinos should act like casinos. This rule came from the 1930s after the Great Depression. It was called the Glass-Steagall Act. It basically said, hey banks, if people trust you with their money, don't gamble with it. Hold it, protect it, chill. Commercial banks are safe, boring, predictable. Investment banks are wild, risky, chaotic. Separate rooms, separate jobs, separate danger. For 60 years, it worked. No mega collapses, no nationwide bank meltdowns. But then came the 1990s, the era of bigger, faster, richer. Banks wanted to mix everything. Money, insurance, stocks, loans, derivatives, deals, all under one mega roof. But Glass-Steagall said, sorry, you can't marry chaos and safety. So banks decided, fine, then we'll change the law. Now imagine a huge wall inside a bank. Left side, your savings account. Right side, a group of Wall Street goblins firing money cannons. Glass-Steagall kept those worlds apart, but banks hated the wall. They said it slowed innovation. Translation, it slowed making insane amounts of money. So they pushed, argued, lobbied, and finally got what they wanted. The Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act of 1999, aka Let the Goblins In. This law tore down the wall. Suddenly, banks could do everything. Take your deposits, gamble with them, sell you insurance, bet against the things they sold you, create monster-level financial products, and then bet on those too. It was like giving a 5-year-old a flamethrower and saying, have fun, just don't burn the house down. Banks became super banks overnight. Giant corporations mixing safe money with risky bets. And the bets? They kept getting bigger and weirder and dangerous. Mortgage-backed securities, credit default swaps, synthetic CDOs, which in simple terms means let's bundle bad stuff, call it good stuff, then sell it to people who don't know it's bad stuff. The system inflated like a giant balloon. Everyone was poking holes. Nobody was watching. Then one day, the balloon finally popped. 2008. Banks were drowning in bad bets. People couldn't pay mortgages. Companies were collapsing like dominoes. But here's the real plot twist. The crisis wasn't an accident. It was a feature of the new system. The moment the wall fell, the moment banks mixed safe money with casino money, the countdown to disaster began. And when things went wrong, they didn't just go wrong for banks. They went wrong for everyone. Because now your savings, your home, your job, your retirement were all tied to bets you never made. The meltdown erased $19 trillion in wealth. Millions lost their homes. The government had to bail out banks with your money. And guess what? Those super banks, they're even bigger today. The wall that once protected you, still missing. The gambling, still happening, just with new names and shinier suits. And every economist quietly agrees it could happen again. So here's the uncomfortable truth. The biggest financial disasters don't start with explosions. They start with paperwork. One law, one signature, one tiny change. And suddenly, the entire economy stands on a trapdoor. Glass-Steagall was built to protect people. Its repeal was built to protect profits. And history has already shown which one wins. Do you think the wall should be rebuilt? Or is the risk worth the reward? Tell me in the comments.